Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
On paper, there's nothing wrong with the structure of these texts. They're formulated as, these are my boundaries, please respect them. It's perfectly okay to set boundaries with people, to tell them what your deal breakers are, and to decide to part ways if there happens to be an incompatibility between your needs and their needs. But when we get into the content of texts like these, it gets a little bit more complicated. Because while, yes, we all have a right to set whatever boundaries we want for ourselves, for other people, I think we're getting to a place in our culture where it's considered that we don't even have to do any sort of introspection or reflection on why our boundaries are the way that they are. There's not a whole lot of, hold on, let me see, is this boundary even appropriate to have? Is this maybe a controlling boundary? Like, telling someone that they can't go surfing with men when their job is to be a surf instructor? Let's think about that. Why is that a boundary that I have? Or surf instructor posting a bikini photo. Why is that a boundary that I have that my partner can't do that? Or hanging out with women who party. Why do I not want my partner to do that? We're getting to a place where everyone has their boundaries and they're considered like set in stone, rigid. You have to respect them or else. And there's not a whole lot of, first of all, challenging, is this a boundary that maybe I should budge on a little bit, that maybe I need to do some work on when I get triggered by it? A few months ago, I posted a video on the difference between privacy and betrayal. And the gist of it was, privacy is, something that you do within the privacy of your own home or your own time or whatever. A betrayal is when what you choose to do with that privacy could hurt someone else if they knew about it. So for instance, if you go to brunch with your friend and you are gossiping to them about a different friend, is it your private right to do so? Yes, absolutely, but it could still be considered a betrayal by the person you're talking about. And so the question asked in that video is, at what point is a line crossed where someone has a specific boundary or a specific thing that they consider to be a betrayal that is actually very controlling of them to try to enforce? So, like a person who doesn't want their partner to ever leave the house without them. That's a boundary that they have. They might consider it a betrayal if their partner goes out of the home without them, but should it be? That is controlling behavior. Should that be a boundary that they have? And the conclusion I came to in that video was that we all have a right to whatever boundaries we have. And other people have a right to say, that doesn't work for me. And so ideally, in an ideal world, if someone has these hyper-controlling boundaries, they're not going to find anyone that is down for that. They're not going to find anyone who's compatible with their boundaries, because their partner is going to say, what do you mean I can't leave the house without you? Of course I'm going to do that. Let's break up. But now I'm also starting to wonder, at what point...
That's Dr. Anna talking about weaponizing boundaries. And she leads us to yet another riveting, intriguing, maybe even disruptive topic tonight. It's going to be deep, and you already know what it is. This is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, live from KBLA, Talk 1580. You already know what it is. We're in the heart of Leimert Park. You know what that is. That's little Africa town up in here. Los Angeles on deck. But listen, every night we have a national discussion. People call in from all over the nation to share their thoughts on these profound, poignant topics about intimate relationships. And Dr. Anna just talked about weaponizing boundaries. We're going to take it a step further. Tonight's topic, talking to crazy. How the ego and the unhealed self seeks to weaponize the words of wisdom coming from therapists in order to remain unchanged. Many therapists get played. Yeah, they get paid for their time, but these people are not really trying to work. I was speaking with a therapist not more than an hour ago. And she was talking about the joy of working with people who are willing to do the work, who are willing to change. She was talking about her frustration when she has to kind of walk them through the mess they've made after not doing what she asked them to do. The one thing they come out of the session with is a new lexicon of words that their victimhood weaponizes in order to manipulate others. How does an unhealed ego attempt to weaponize the wisdom of therapists to maintain its current state? I'm not changing. How many people go to therapy to try to get the therapist to get on your side, to prove you right? How many couples, the therapy, it didn't work because one couple or one person in the couple was getting exposed? Well, I don't even like her. No. We got to get another therapist. Huh? Tonight's topic, talking to crazy. Talking to crazy. The weaponization of therapy speak. And the ego's last fortress. See, the voice of reason is this type of show as well. Because we're not afraid to tackle any topic, we give language to many other platforms. Oh, I never heard it put that way. What a Sambo relationship. Oh, you mean Sambo was bootlicking and capitulating to massa? He was in survival mode. Oh, I'm in a Sambo relationship if I'm people pleasing and compromising myself. Oh, because I'm in survival. Wow. See how the voice of reason, we give language to concepts people never even dreamed of imagining. Well, it happens to therapists a lot. Talking to crazy. Therapy gave us a lexicon meant to liberate, yet the unhealed ego has transformed it into a sophisticated arsenal. What began as the language of healing has mutated into the tongue of control. Right? Evasion and subtle domination. Phrases like, that's your projection. You're being toxic. I can't because of my attachment style. And I feel unsafe are no longer mere self-disclosures. They have become psychological landmines designed less to invite intimacy than to shut it down. Man, I literally, maybe two years ago. No, maybe a year. No, it was last year. A year ago, I was on a date with a sister. The sister literally said, okay, my ADHD is acting up. I was like, is it a rash? Is it itching? Maybe it was. I'm not here. I don't know. Consider this. When a partner says you're gaslighting me, is it always an honest, right, confrontation? Or can it be an attempt to coerce the other into validating a preferred narrative? When someone announces, I need to set a boundary, is it always about safety? Or can it be a velvet-gloved ultimatum? A way of disguising control as self-care? Huh? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. We talking to crazy tonight. Let's get in here. I want to hear from the community, the national community who listens to this show. I want to talk to y'all. The ego, as the great Krishnamurti insisted, thrives on certainty and resistance. Therefore, it bends every insight into armor. To weaponize therapy speak is to ensure one never has to change while appearing enlightened in the process. I've got the words now. It's going to sound like I read a book. It's going to sound like I got A's in my therapy session. But I haven't changed at all. I now have the languaging to weaponize the tools that were given to me to go to work on myself. If you're dealing with a good therapist, they're always going to point you back to what you can do about your situation. They're always going to cause you to reflect, to be mindful, to look at yourself, to pause, to consider. They're always going to do that. But if you got somebody who is resistant to the instructions that are being laid out, all the therapist is doing is giving them the language. How many times have you been with your partner who just came from therapy and they want to therapize you? See, what you need to do, let me tell you something. I've been to therapy 36 times now. And what you need to do, right? It's just like somebody who just found Christ. They're proselytizing. They're out there knocking on doors. Hey, come on into the warm embrace of Christ. Right? To weaponize therapy speak is to ensure one never has to change while appearing enlightened in the process. Right? Babette Rothschild, right? She reminds us that the body remembers what the mind represses. The trembling hand, the tight chest, the contracted breath. These reveal more than the tongue armed with jargon. Yet we live in an age where the mouth drowns out the body. Someone trembling with shame may override it with language. I'm just triggered by your avoidant energy. Here, jargon anesthetizes, right? The nervous system pleads for intimacy, but the ego colonizes that plea with technical jargon. It's a defense mechanism, a new defense mechanism. It sounds clinical. It sounds right. It's designed to convince you to let them out. Let them out of where? Out of the fun house where all the mirrors are so they can see their reflection. Ross Rosenberg's human magnet syndrome warns that codependents and narcissists lock into dances of mutual wounding. But notice the modern twist. Instead of breaking free, many now weaponize the very terms. You're the narcissist. I'm done with your codependency. Weaponizing clinical terms, as if naming the pattern ends the pattern. This keeps the ego safe because diagnosis replaces transformation. Okay, so you named your demon. That's part of the exorcism. You gonna confront him? You gonna confront the demon? Where your holy water? You got the prayers? You got your robe? You ready to go to war with the demon? Naming it is one part of the exorcism. How do you expel it? Right? Very interesting stuff. Mind maps, reality tunnels, and a tyranny of labels. Alfred Korzybski, creator of General Semantics and English Prime. The map is not the territory, yet therapy speak seduces us into mistaking relational maps for living terrain. Calling someone avoidant dismissive or dismissive avoidant may describe a pattern, but it collapses their humanity into a taxonomy. Robert Anton Wilson spoke of reality tunnels, narrow perception prisons. Today, we live in therapy tunnels, lined with neon buzzwords. You're toxic. I'm triggered. Y'all in a trauma bond. That's a red flag. These tunnels, these reality tunnels, promise safety but deliver estrangement. For they shrink the infinite mystery of human beings into cliches of pathology. Are you listening tonight? Have you weaponized therapy speak? 1-800-920-1580. Have you told your partner you're a narcissist? You're toxic. I had one woman told me your mama should have raised you better. In the name of sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce, when we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Said none similar, quadruple any figure, quick on the trigger, help the skelter wig out by the good fella, not Lupinella cause I'm black and mold better, bust the phenomenon, we come to get busy, deep in roots but my name ain't Kizzy, many march cause I'm heavy on the starch, never tell a farce when I scale on an arch, jam it on the radio, brothers say way to go, shape it like Play-Doh, soprano at the chateau, my theory periodically flows a odyssey, bigger than modern technology. So save all the chit chat when I kick a format fat. It's like that.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Okay, I'm going to stop you there because what you're doing right now is trauma dumping by answering that question negatively. And I do not have the capacity to hold space for your trauma at this moment. So I'm going to set a boundary with this conversation so that only I can answer that question because I had a really good day. No, I mean, I'm fine. I just, you said that your food was really, really good, and then you offered me a bite of it, and I took a bite of it, and I didn't think it was that good, so I'm just feeling really gaslit right now. Like, the fact that you were prioritizing your taste buds over my potential taste buds is very narcissistic, and I think that you should speak to somebody about it. Actually, by you telling me that I hurt your feelings, you were criticizing me, and I was heavily criticized as a child, so that is triggering to me, so I'm gonna need you to dial it back in, because when I am mean to you, it actually heals my inner child, and I need you to hold space for that. Otherwise, I will have to go no contact.
Alexandra. I love it. Alexandra Kopko, if I'm not mistaken. Andy, is that correct?
Her handle on TikTok is Alexandra Wide Eyes.
Oh, Alexandra Wide Eyes. That's her TikTok handle. Oh, but she broke down the therapy speak perfectly, right? Listen, the way a therapist speaks to you is trying to get you, A, to be okay, to be comfortable, to be safe in their environment, and then to be able to open up, right? First, to look at oneself, to evaluate. They may give you some exercises like journaling. They may ask you to read some books. You know, they may ask you to do all of this to go on a particular type of journey, self-journey, to look within, right? Many people still, even after having been to a therapist numerous times, still are afraid to confront themselves, to deal with themselves, right? So they go into the situation. I know so many people, I just go there to vent, you know, and depending on your therapist, their style, some therapists are hands-on. They're going to give you worksheets. They're going to get you to do certain exercises. They might ask you to go to yoga, whatever, meditation. Then there are some that are more reserved, that sit back and observe, right? Really, the work is on you. Some people get the languaging and not the purpose of the languaging. Krishnamurti warned us against turning truth into ideology. To call someone toxic, right, may relieve the speaker momentarily, but it keeps the deeper question at bay. What in me is drawn to toxicity? Listen to that. Why is that attractive to me? Especially if it's been a reoccurring pattern. What in me is drawn to toxicity? What in me remains unresolved? That I see villains everywhere, but never in myself. The ego craves villains because villains justify its fortifications. This is why I call it a cloundry, not a boundary. If you're unhealed, all you're doing with boundaries is building walls. I once had a woman who I was dating for a long time. I was only, and this is when times were good, I was only unblocked on one of her social media platforms. I didn't find out I was blocked on everything else until it was over. But I have been blocked for years. I couldn't see the Facebook. I couldn't see Twitter or X. We started on Twitter. That's not a boundary. That's a cloundry. 1-800-920-50. I'm telling the truth. Again, the ego craves villains because villains justify fortifications, right? Dr. David R. Hawkins mapped consciousness, noting that shame, guilt, and fear vibrate at the lowest levels. Yet, what of weaponized compassion when empathy becomes a subtle tyranny, an ego trip dressed as virtue? Example, I'm holding space for you, but your unhealed trauma is too much for me. Translation, I need to stay the hero, and you must remain the perpetual villain. This is not compassion. It is spiritualized condescension. When we come forward, the voice of reason, I'm going to the phone lines.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Democratic leaders are rejecting President Trump's push to expand National Guard deployments into cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles.
We cannot allow this to be normalized. It's one of the most important things for us to do.
Mayors like Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass say crime is already falling due to local investments, not military force, and they criticize federal cuts to community violence prevention programs. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, who are both black, met with Democratic mayoral nominee Zoran Mamdani, but neither has endorsed him. The campaign says talks focused on affordability and why black New Yorkers are leaving the city. And Washington, D.C. is launching a new driver education program at 4 high schools next month. Black Mayor Muriel Bowser says it will prepare students for the city's traffic environment and future job opportunities. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You deserve a car that thrills you. A car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, they've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
How to survive, be one with the water. It's the same thing for even trees and flowers. The lifeless showers, it washes the pain, give us a rainbow. Beginning of the earth, building drop fell down and gave birth. It made petals like it became seeds without water.
It's going to be a tough one for some people, but therapy didn't heal you. It just made your pain sound educated because you didn't stop hurting. You just learned how to talk about your pain in a way that made everyone else feel safe. You said inner child instead of abandonment. You said attachment style instead of fear that no one else will stay. You explained your triggers with full sentences, but your body was still bracing for that next door to slam shut. That wasn't healing. That was etiquette. You and I both know this. That was trauma that learned how to wash his hands before you did. That was performing safety in a world that only applauds survival if you say it calmly. And they praised you for that, didn't they? They said you were self-aware, said you were emotionally intelligent. They clapped hands for your composure, but then asked what it cost to hold it. Now you're fluent in healing talk, and you can name every wound, but sometimes you say, I'm working on boundaries. But what you really mean is I'm tired of being taken from. See, therapy, weaponized therapy talk gets real serious because when you say I'm in my soft era, what you really mean is I'm too tired to fight anymore and I hope my softness protects me this time. You didn't get better, you got fluent, and fluent pain is still pain. That's the whole trap of it because language without metabolization becomes performance. Insight without integration becomes a trauma echo. And that trauma echo becomes content in your life. So now your trauma is trending. Now your healing is a caption. You post your growth not because you've grown, but because you were taught that vulnerability is a strategy. But healing, real healing, doesn't require performance. We talked about this before. It needs presence. And presence doesn't always sound profound. Sometimes it sounds like I don't have the words for this yet. Sometimes it sounds like this still makes me want to scream. Sometimes it's just breath, just ache, just sitting where what refuses to be led. Right? What refuses to be fixed. Therapy gave you language. And I'm pro therapy. It matters. It helped you survive. But it didn't teach you how to bleed without apology. It didn't teach you how to feel without narrating it. It didn't teach you how to stop needing your pain to be palatable. Because healing ain't cute. It ain't. It ain't curated. It ain't clean. It's ugly crying when no one's home. It's setting boundaries and then mourning the silence that follows. It's screaming into the steering wheel and not needing to turn that moment into a lesson. That's what it is. So no therapy didn't fix you, but it did give you a scaffold. It gave you a language and it gave you a mirror. And again, that matters. But real healing started when you stopped talking like a therapist and started listening like a wounded child. Oh, it's getting dark in here, y'all. It's getting dim. I want you to understand.
Hey, that's Def Poetry Jam. Come on. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was good. Never heard of that brother before. Justin Scott? Is that who it is, Andy? That's who I got over here is Justin Scott. Oh, this is another TikTok. Man, I thought I was watching Def Poetry Jam. Yeah, that was beautiful work, brother. Somebody said TikTok therapist. He is cooking, though. Boy, Justin Scott from TikTok. We gonna give him his flowers? Listen, guys. Look at your therapist as training wheels. He said it. Justin just said it about it. Therapy gives you a scaffolding, right? A framing, a framework. Therapists are training wheels. like I said, I spoke to a psychological training wheels. I spoke to a therapist earlier today, and she said she's not in the business of keeping her clients. She wants her clients to be able to learn and then move on. Right? She was like, if I felt like job security was a problem, then of course, we need people to, join therapy sessions. But she was like, people are always going to struggle and they're always going to need a little help. And I'm educated to help people, but I'm not going to not give them the resources that they need to get better. The reality of it is they have to take those resources and implement them. A therapist can't do the work for you, but they can guide you to a point to where you say, you know what? I don't need these psychological training wheels any longer. Listen, Pema Chodron exhorts us to lean into discomfort. Yet therapy speak often provides a sanctioned escape. Someone might declare, I can't engage with this. It's really not safe for me. Sometimes that's true, but oftentimes it's just their ego refusing to fire the discomfort. Refusing intimacy under the guise of quote-unquote self-care is diabolical. That's right? Let me say it another way. Maybe it's not diabolical. Refusing intimacy under the guise of self-care, avoidance now has moral language. See, if you haven't dealt with or processed maybe your avoidant attachment style, and so you know that it might be a negative connotation associated with fearful avoidant or associated with a dismissive avoidant, you say, you know what, no. I'm refusing intimacy under self-care because that's now the new politically correct, morally sound buzzword. Oh, there's a self-care moment. I guess I gotta. But if you're doing it out of avoidance because intimacy is scary, do you see? You're manipulating with therapy speak. What do we call it? Therapies. We did a womanese show. Now this is the therapies show, right? Eckhart Tolle, one of my favorites, reminds us that the ego thrives on identification. In weaponized therapy speak, we do not just describe, we become the diagnosis. How many times have you guys heard me say to you on this show, don't identify if you have with your insecure attachment style? If you've been diagnosed with an insecure attachment style, anxious, preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, or fearful avoidant, i.e. disorganized, if you've been diagnosed with an insecure attachment style, it is not like, oh, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Gemini. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Leo. No. We are not identifying with it. It is merely it's a diagnosis to say, hey, this is how these people show up. But guess what? Every insecure attachment style can be recontextualized. Every insecure attachment style can be healed. You can be, once you know what to work on, you can say, oh, I can move towards secure now. Right? Anxious, preoccupied. Oh, they left me. They broke my heart. They took advantage of me. Oh, my God. Okay, let's learn how to pull back. Because chasing after them, calling them, trying to explain yourself, you can never explain anything to an unwilling ear. That's the biggest lesson that an anxious preoccupied needs to learn. Stop calling them. Stop showing up at the job. Stop showing up uninvited at the family picnic. You out the family now. Do you understand? The AP will chase. The avoidant will pull back. Do you see? Actually implementing the work and not just the terminology, right? Right? In weaponized therapy speak, we do not just describe, we become the diagnosis. I'm anxious, preoccupied. I'm codependent. I'm traumatized. Never say these things. Never give these things life. If you know language, right, is the voice of spells. So you could write a spell in a book, but the voice of spells, the resonance of spells is when we speak them, right? I'm traumatized. These identities become prisons mistaken for liberation. Again, one of my favorites, Paramahansa Yogananda and Sri Yukteswar would call this Maya, the great illusion, where language obscures the higher self rather than revealing it. The soul is silence, yet we drown it in therapeutic rhetoric. You guys ever read the book by David Deida, The Way of the Superior Man? In that book, David Deida argued that polarity, masculine and feminine, right, requires embodied presence. But in modern relationships, erotic charge collapses under diagnostic fire. Lovers become clinicians, trading terms instead of touches. That's your inner child. That's your disorganized attachment. Stop gaslighting. The electric rawness of naked vulnerability is buried beneath taxonomies. Again, another one of my favorites, Rumi. He warned, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. That field is intimacy without weapon. Yet today we rarely meet there. Instead, we meet in courtrooms of jargon, filing lawsuits of language, demanding compensation through guilt. Oh my God. Demanding compensation through guilt? The voice of reason is in here acting a fool. Are you talking to crazy? Has your partner gone to therapy and come back and tried to put you on your couch? I want to know. The voice of reason is on fire tonight. When we come forward, we're going to the phone lines. This time, I promise.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ain't nobody praying for me. Ain't nobody praying for me.
Chip on my shoulders. I feel like I'm losing my focus. I feel like I'm losing my patience. I feel like my thoughts in the basement. I feel like you're miseducated. Feel like I don't wanna be bothered. I feel like you may be the problem. I feel like it ain't no tomorrow. The world is ended. I'm done pretending. If you get offended, I feel like friends been overrated. I feel like the family been faking. I feel like the feelings are changing. Feel like my daughter compromised and jaded. Feel like you wanna screw and that's how I made it. Feel like I ain't feeling you all. Feel like removing myself, no feelings involved. I feel for you. I've been in the field for you. It's real for you, right? I feel like ain't nobody praying for me. Ain't nobody praying for me. Ain't nobody praying for me. Ain't nobody praying.
I want to look at what is. There must be a great deal of things involved in it, right? Because we have looked. I know I'm greedy, but it doesn't do anything. Greed is a feeling. And I've looked at that feeling, named greed. The word is not the thing. But we may be mistaken the word for the thing. No, this is not intellectual, it's very simple. I may be caught in words, but not with fact. The fact is I'm greedy. The word is very complex, that's why you should go into this very deeply. The word may incite that feeling. Can the mind be free of the word and look? You follow what I'm saying? So I must first learn whether the word has become important to me in my life. Am I a slave to words?
Somebody get Krishnamurti a cough drop.
Knowing that the word is not the thing. So, word becomes important when the fact is not real, actual to us. I would rather look at a picture of a mountain than go and look at a mountain. Right? To look at a mountain, I have to go great distance, climb, look, observe, feel. But by looking at a picture of a mountain, it's a picture. It's a symbol. It's not reality. So, are we caught in words? If you are caught in words, then you are moving away from the fact. So, does the word create the feeling of greed? Or is there a greed without the word? This requires, you understand, examination requires tremendous discipline. Not suppression, the very inquiry and the pursuit in that inquiry has its own discipline. So I have to find out very carefully whether the word has created the feeling or the feeling exists without the word. The word is greed. I have named it. I have named it because I have had that feeling before. So, I am registering the present feeling by a past incident of the same kind. So, the present has been absorbed into the past. Are you interested in all this?
Are you interested in all of
So,
this?
I realize what I'm doing. I'm aware of what is happening. What is happening is that the word has become extraordinarily important to me. So then, is there a freedom from the word? Communist, socialist, etc., etc. Greed, envy, national, so on. Is there a freedom from the word? The word is the past, right? Feeling is the past. No, feeling is the present, recognized by the word as the past. So I'm living all the time in the past. So the past is me. The past is time. So time is me. Look what I'm discovering. Come on. Time is me. So the me says, I must not be angry because my...
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Democratic leaders are rejecting President Trump's push to expand National Guard deployments into cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles.
We cannot allow this to be normalized. It's one of the most important things for us to do.
Mayors like Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass